Looks like MarineLorD is back on the grind a little bit, and he actually queued into Doubt for some wonderful ulti from what's a weird angle. I don't know why it's there. Whatever. Let's hop into it. I'm hyped for this one. Love seeing more Doubt. So excited to see him back on the game, dude. It was very fun watching him in the early days. Some of the experiments didn't work out according to plan, but he's always been kind of that one of those classic names in Age of Empires. And up against MarineLorD, someone that I think everyone by now knows about. I mean, these guys right now are ranked 19th and 68th, respectively, with MarineLorD being 19th. But they're both capable of being in that, top 20, I'd say. I think Doubt, he just needs time to adjust to the meta, and I think we'll see him really climb up there. For those unaware, Doubt has started to invest a lot of time into AoE 4. He's made his intent clear. He wants to qualify for the Age of Empires 4 World tournament. Because remember, he's already qualified for AoE 2 due to the fact that he's a former winner of World Law. Yes, that's the caliber of player we're talking about here. And it's very difficult to see how the poor opponent he has will stand a chance. MarineLorD so far has 0 Wallalols under his belt. Has not won a single one. I think we will have to refer to him as the underdog in this. No, I'm kidding. MarineLorD definitely a very talented player. Has been kind of chilling, has been taking a little bit of break, has been playing a lot of multiverses at the moment. So definitely still favored with the amount of hours he has in AoE 4. But maybe Doubt will catch him off guard. Maybe Doubt, he's been warming up. He's discovered someone a bit cheeky that MarineLorD didn't notice. What to see. Just kidding. MarineLorD washed up player. Plays multiverses all the time. Gonna lose this. Whoop, whoop. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Let's see how this goes, though. We've got English versus Abbasids. We've been seeing a few of these today. I really do think this matchup has started to lean in favor of the Abbasids. I actually genuinely believe that. I think the English are struggling in these earlier timings. It's kind of weird. Prolonged Feudal doesn't feel as good for this Civ anymore. And I think it's because in a prolonged Feudal state, a lot of other Civs escalate, right? So the Abbasids are going to get an increased Golden Age. The Rus have all those Golden Gate tickets accruing that unlock all these different builds. The Chinese, supervise. The Rus, of course, also have the extra 20%. There's so many civs that have these different perks. The English don't really have a great perk for early game. The middle influence has always been about later on the game. Especially when you get into, Imperial, you get your hands on enclosures, you're like, c'est la magnifique. It's amazing. Feudal always felt like this weird kind of thing. When they started nerfing early ram rushes and Lombos didn't feel as good anymore, and Horsemen got buffed, all of a sudden the English early plans kind of fell off, and it became more about this fallback to Imperial. And I think that's where they kind of lay right now. A lot of people acknowledge the English is the best Civ if you reach Imperial. The challenge is getting there now. You need to field early aggression, and one way you can do that is with a Dark Age pool. But we haven't seen that yet out of MarineLorD. Instead, he's just going in for the standardized farm setup. Didn't play onto the Deer. Interesting thing as well, because we have seen a lot of players right now that do field the English on Altai. They play for the Deer first because it's situated so closely to your base. But instead, we'll just get a standard open. We'll see if it has a standard finish for the English. That would be, if it goes Imperial, they win. If it doesn't, they lose. Meanwhile, Doubt, nothing too unique with the opening, right? I think the Abbasids are kind of locked in a lot of ways until a few minutes in the game, just because of how long it takes to tech up. It's actually weird when you think about it as well, because it feels like the moment they do tech up, so many options open up to them. We've seen the Camel comps, we've seen the Horseman comps, we've seen Archers mixed in. There's a lot of flexibility that's been discovered with this Civ. I do think Horseman is still the backbone of almost every build, though. The only time you wouldn't go Horseman is maybe against... I was going to say, actually... No. I was going to say the only time you wouldn't go Horseman is against another Abbasid player. But even then, you would go Horseman. Plus Camel Archers. It's just hard to find a world in which Horseman isn't the justifiable strategy for the Civ. Well, anyway. We'll check in and see that MarineLorD is going to do the standardized build up into the Council Hall. In fact, I'm going to 2 times this early game. I've been experimenting with this recently. I kind of like the idea of a small 2 time zone in the first few minutes. Just keeping eyes on the base. MarineLorD, only 3 farms, so he's going for early aggression. This is going to be a longbow push. He'd have a lot more farms if he was just looking for a tech up. This should not be a Castle Age rush. And I think the reason he doesn't want to do a Castle Age rush, he's just scouted this out. Look at the detail here. Doubt spawn stuck the stone ahead of him. All the stone is ahead of him. So if he wants to go for a TC boom like every Abbasid player under the sun wants to, he needs to play forward of his base. And this is an opportunity now. So MarineLorD, if he goes into a few lombos, he can poke and prod and block these out. Gold as well, like all of these elements would be blocked out. And it's why we already see the reaction straight away. Doubt going for the double stable here. He needs to get Horseman online. In fact, because it got scouted out, he cancelled it. I'm not sure I like this choice though. Archery range seems good in theory, but if you just see now the racks plus the longbowman, I still think MarineLorD can block him out. You can see the push across. Some people are pointing out my point earlier around like Horseman always being the go-to in the camels. It's not even about the camels, but like it is. And what I mean by that is, you know, Horseman will almost always be there. But when you're in the Abbasid matchup, you want the camels because they negate the Horseman damage, and you want it for the aura. You're not escalating into a big count, so the investment isn't that high, because wrapping around with Horsemen and Camel Archers can already lose you a fight, right? Unless you have Camel Archers of your own. It's one of those kind of mutually assured destruction things. That's why you see Camel Archers on both sides constantly, because otherwise you're just forfeiting a 20% damage increase to the other side. Not good. And this is not looking good right now for MarineLorD. Doubt jumping first here. Spimmin in position, but MarineLorD now the one on the defensive. And this is worst case scenario because I think MarineLorD was expecting Doubt to play stone. If he went onto stone, he'd have less resources accrued for stable and archer range push. But this switch up by Doubt is potent right now. It actually really screws from MarineLorD's build, because he hasn't escalated food for income long term, but he is setting up for a fast castle. We'll have to see if that castle pays off, because I feel like on this patch right now, with the double down of feudal aggression we've seen out of so many players, the person who blinks first and rushes castle tends to lose. Now the rival archers is going to be bad tidings from MarineLorD backing up now. Needs to reinvest some food to get more military units out. Now, luckily for MarineLorD, Doubt does not have enough archers yet, but he will soon. Look at the count and how quickly it's going up. You can see the count now up to double digits, and the ram being built. Doubt. I like this. MarineLorD, he wasn't gathering enough food because he had to go back to get additional villages built as well as get a few lombos and spearmen out. He offset his own castle timing by an extra minute. And that extra minute could be the difference here. He's now looking to build it up. And it is going to be the King's Palace. However, the chief concern here is the ram. The ram, if it deletes the racks before you start pushing man-at-arms, you don't actually have a strong point defense. And remember, the Council Hall can only build lombos. So for all intents and purposes, until you get another military production building up, you're still playing Feudal Age. Doubt having doubled the military in the field. Now marching in with the horsemen. Ram on the way. Tech up is not fast either. MarineLorD, because he had barely enough food, notice he only put 5 people in the build up the King's Pass. Also, speaking of that food, sheep are running out quick here. I think MarineLorD may have skirted a thin line here. There's a risk of going over the edge. Lombos baiting in the horsemen, the archers' attention. They will engage here. Brace comes out, pinches 3 horsemen. But that does brace the spearmen in location as well. The archers are going to trade them out, and the horsemen are still going to be standing in the meantime. The racks is going to be sniped out, and the villagers are going to be pulled away. MarineLorD, he'll get his tech up, but the price is going to be high here. No way of quickly building into new troops is going to be a problem. And now the archer ball onto the villagers, mistakes made. MarineLorD needs to keep moving away. Shifts away quickly here. Has got the wheelbarrow at least. Archers will peel back on the other side and get out. It looks like MarineLorD will at least be able to play onto the deer, so he isn't going to run out of food, but needs to get more military buildings up fast. Doubt. Well, how is he looking back at base? He stayed on 1 TC. He continues the aggression. He is doubling down now. He has no choice. If he falls back from this assault, it's pretty much done, because you would have given a free Castle Age and have no scalability. Double ram. Looks to go back in. MarineLorD, he's prepping the stables. This is a pricey investment for a man who does not have access to gold. Oh, thank God. He found his way back. Uh-oh. I don't think the scout can stay here long enough. If he blocks with the scout, I don't think he can stand there long enough. We'll find out. Wait, does MarineLorD... Stand ground! Oh no! Oh god. Why? Poor Dao. He didn't hit V. He didn't stand ground. If he stand ground there, he could have possibly got the horseman in time. Instead, the wall's going to go up. Instead, he'll just have to direct his aggression towards the base. A lot of food, a lot of gold. That's threatening now. That means there's going to be a lot of knights coming out. You can see the full wall in because MarineLorD is super paranoid. If he loses this gold vein source, he's in trouble. Notice that he's so focused on getting the knights out, he doesn't even stop to attack the scout. He's finally going to do it now, as his villagers are getting low. But he was trying to optimize to allow the first few knights to come out. Right now, it's not enough knights. In fact, is this his first one still? This is his first. Okay, that's his first one. That's a problem. And the Rams, I love this play. Dao, it's almost like he just hovered over them and saw the bonus damage they get against walls. He will break this wall quickly and push MarineLorD further back. And if MarineLorD now retreats out the north side, look where the next gold vein is. Sorry, let me put that into really like appropriate scale. Look at where the next gold vein is. He has to run across map to get gold now. Oi, oi, oi. And I wonder if Doubt knows about this. Oh, he's in. MarineLorD. He's giving a little bit of time to get into the knights, but keep in mind that MarineLorD, you heard that noise. He has to trade. The only way he's getting knights now is if he trades for gold. And meanwhile, a second wave now building up on the west side. Doubt looking to pinch him from two sides. Good aggression coming out. MarineLorD, what is your next move here? Limited space. Every single building you choose in this area has to be worthwhile. You are going to have to explain this one to me, though. You've built a blacksmith's, and you have no access to gold. I'm all for believing in your dreams and pursuing them. But this is almost bordering delusion. Looks like he's going to change the gold workers into a boar supply to get them the food. But I'm still question marking where the gold is coming from. Now, he can trade for that gold, for the gold, but remember the trades are going to get worse every time you click them. In fact, they don't look that good already. And realistically, the only things you have is wood and food. Not even stone, so you can't even try to mediate this and kind of balance it out for better gold exchange. This is worrisome right now. I actually think Doubt's hitting the premium times. And the Archer Ball is big enough that the Knights are somewhat threatened. You're seeing the damage that comes out. Yeah, you're killing off a lot of archers, but each of these Knights is worth double what they usually are because you're limited gold. Looks like he's going to peel back because he's got Spearman coming out now. Nice choice by Doubt, as it looks like the Rams are going to be fully ignored. And now he can turn it around. Villagers rushing up an outpost. Maybe a mistake here. Has to back away. He want that gold so bad. Dude, I've got to give it to him. All right. Doubt may be a little bit rusty. He may be warming up again. But he understands the pressure points. He has read this map perfectly, and he's blocked out the one thing that would get MarineLorD back in this game right now. Gold. And he continues to do so as well. He's going to scout this out. The Horseman is in position. He can wrap around again. Now, MarineLorD can still actually recover this, but he needs to optimize the use of his Knights. He is up to 6. If he gets up to about 12, 13, and builds a few Lombos, this is still a good position for him. But he is definitely on the clock with this. And the Rams looking to mount up that pressure. Archer's now moving in. MarineLorD not backing off just yet. Means a few freebies. Slow reaction means 2 villies will be going down. And all of a sudden, a housing crisis. What did we just say about MarineLorD's base? What did we highlight about the layout? Limited space. Each house you have to build now on the backside is less room for military production buildings. And you can see the effect of this. Everything is getting quite cramped over here. It really is starting to look like London. No room for new buildings. TC now being targeted. MarineLorD. Oh, God, he got found on the gold line. Horseman cleaned him up. Trying to gobble up a few villages of his own as he moves in with the Knights, but limited damage going to be done here. They're still neck and neck economically, and the concern there, you're 2 TCs if you're the English. You're now pop capped, need more housing, and MarineLorD was quoted as saying, I played these so perfectly that I wish I could clone myself so I had a practice partner. That's a panic house if I've ever seen one. Perfection is always evolving, my friend, and it's always hard to obtain. Just like a win against Doubt in this game. Villagers forced to repair here. The TC almost going down. It's looking fried right now. The ram damage is just too high. Garrison comes up. It's going to count for little. As primary TC is down, just repairing this alone is going to be a pricey endeavor, let alone the idle time on top of that. Oy, oy, oy. And more troops now come, and Doubt continues the double down. It's been a few minutes, but he doesn't care that he's still in feudal. Villager pulled to try and deal with the rams. A few troops that are here trying to poke and prod down each village that they get their hands on. Even if you clean up the rams, though, the damage done to your base is now hard to repair, and know that a second wave of troops is coming behind this from Doubt. It is just primarily spears for the moment. Spears that aren't reacting. Spears that aren't Spears that aren't Forget it. Doubt, proving that he is also a mere mortal, although we may call him Lord. Longbow count has crawled up to 10 for MarineLorD. So a good count of the spears is going to force a backstep into the horsemen out of Doubt. But keep in mind, Doubt is not weak in the food department. He did already do his transition into farms. In fact, I think he went up to about 12 here. Yep. And we'll probably be playing onto deer as well alongside this if need be. We'll regroup in the center in the meantime, though. Bang his opponent in. And remember, these spears can be quite effective because I do believe, yes, Phalanx has been taken, which means double them can strike into longbows. It's a really weird dynamic, actually. It means longbows don't actually trade that well once you get in range of them. You're talking about a unit that does 6 damage versus one that does 9, but double the amount will be attacking you. Upgrade finally comes out. Took a while for veterancy to come in. Doubt just keeps on pressuring, but needs to be careful not to throw away too many troops here. The longbow ball will continue to increase. Currently, MarineLorD's sitting 4 villages behind Doubt here. Doubt not even blinking for a second, not even thinking about a second TC. He's thinking about Castle Age. The save up is starting to come through for him. So he's going to pinch the last of the longbows, and a wraparound comes out for the Knights in the meantime. Micro looking good here. Doubt. Does he actually go for it, or do you double down? I think you might need to double down here. Going Castle Age right now could easily throw this game. You're going to lock up 1,800 resources for almost 2 minutes in a situation where MarineLorD is starting to get a military force together. It's a weak military force, but it is existing in this game. And now it can escalate as well. Farms coming online, gold vein accessed. I mean, this is where Doubt might be in a bit of a pickle. I think he could try, like, he would be fully within his justification to go Castle Age. I'd understand it. I just think you are so deep in the hole right now, it's like digging on your way to Australia. You know, if I'm past the core, I might as well keep going. If I'm past the core, I'm probably already on fire. But the point is, like, I'm already halfway past. I should not turn around now. Now, that does sound a lot like sunken cost fallacy. But in this situation, what are you turning around for? You're 1 TC versus 2. You're already an age behind. You'd lock in those 1,800 resources and wouldn't be able to use them. You'd lose. You have to double down. I say as he continues to hoard quite a surplus of resources. I wonder if he is conceiving this game as more threatening to him to stay in feudal than it actually is. Like, we can see the numbers, right? We have God mode. We have to remember that. We can see that MarineLorD is not exactly strong. His eco is looking pretty papega right now. It's definitely not looking happy. His food is only now getting online. But I think the issue for Doubt is because he can't see this. He worries at the moment that he relinquished control of the gold veins, MarineLorD was fully unleashed. And that's why he goes in for this tech up. Now, upside this tech up, MarineLorD has barely any melee. He cannot burn down the base. Downside is you just gave mid-map control over to the English here. And that can be a very dangerous thing to do. Still though, horsemen looking to wrap around. Want to pinch a few archers as best they can. Sieging not exactly quick out of MarineLorD. And I have to wonder what the plan is. Doubt, once he techs up, what could he go for here? Well, he could blame the crossbows as well as lancers. His income isn't good enough for this, though. He needs to get on gold hard. The problem with that is his gold is on the front of his base. So he needs to rely on food and wood, which means you're looking at horsemen and spears up against longbows and knights. It's not a good look. Alternatively, play a Mangonel. One Mangonel could turn this game entirely. He's heavily reliant on longbows right now. And as we've seen time and time again, when you tend to ball up longbows at this stage of the English, especially against a civ like the Abbasids, one Mangonel can break your entire game plan. Right now, MarineLorD's looking to break the base. Second ram coming out, a heavy investment at this stage. But remember, he is 2 TCs, and he has somewhat recovered 64 eco compared to DauT's 55. These rams are going to shut down the ability for DauT to scale. And this is the thing, MarineLorD, he's rushing these rams because he knows that the tech up is coming. There's a lack of troops pushed by DauT. It makes it obvious right now that he's going for castle. So the goal for MarineLorD is to get rid of all the full production buildings so you cannot get Castle Age units out. There it is. Trigger comes out. Deactivation on the Golden Age tier 2 as well. Annoying considering you just teched up and you want to get those research speeds. Butchering of villagers as a push-in comes out. Underneath the outpost to dive in deep with the Lombos to reach into the Horsemen. Limited troops right now for DauT, and DauT, he needs to get these troops out fast. He preps the stables on the backside and now starts pushing the Lancers, but the Lancers are going to be delayed. And villagers are going to be exposed. A lot of them getting exposed, in fact. It's going to force the fight with the Horsemen. Lombo's unable to chase at least. It is wasting a lot of MarineLorD's time. In the meantime, villagers are going to be pulled to deal with the ram, but 2 knights will bring an end to that goal. Several more villagers going down. MarineLorD starting to get clear control of this game. And DauT kind of worked into a corner now. I don't see a way back from this anymore. I mean, he's teched up. First Lancers are coming out, but those Lancers match evenly with the Knights. The Rams have obliterated a lot of your production buildings on the front side. You need to rebuild there. And you don't have wood right now. In fact, you're chopping the last tree right now as you get chopped down by the Lombo Ball. MarineLorD's like, what do you think you're doing here? This is my area. Pay the tax or get out. And the pinch, the Knights around the backside. Not a quick reaction though, MarineLorD. Didn't click to attack there. Could have struck down maybe 3 or 4 more villagers, but what's the difference really? 38 to 74 eco. MarineLorD looking like this should be cruise mode activated now as DauT doesn't have anything to fight back with. And you know, looking back at this game, I think it comes down to the choice to not maybe double down. You could see it was kind of backfiring, and I get why DauT wanted the Castle Age. But at the same time, you were in for a penny, in for a pound. Too many longbows have been built up. I think the goal for DauT, in his mind, the way he recovers this game, he needed Castle Age to get the Mangonel. But because he lost 2 critical fights out in the midfield on the way towards his base, he never had enough troops to build up a Mangonel because he had to, or resources, because he had to replace them. And I think that difference, that detail, crippled him heavily in this game. And that's why MarineLorD just has full control now. And I think this will be the end of the game. Yeah, GG gets called. Good effort by DauT. Love the fielded aggression and the block on the gold, the limited resources. But big credit to MarineLorD coming through with such limited resources at his disposal.